Hello guys, today we will talk about SEP array, placeholders in conditional events actions and placeholders pack. It's an add-on for the conditional events plugin. You can find all necessary links in the description, how to download it, how to use, and etc. Let's start from the general structure of this placeholder, which includes format and usefulity, where you can use it useful, then different types and so on. Then we will move to the features, advantages, and examples. So let's start. General, what does array mean? It means that you have some text which is separated by some separators. For example, it can be commas, semicolons, different dashes, rotated dashes. Yes, when you will split the string by the separators, you will get array which you will be able to use. Array placeholders allow you to do fantastic things. To the common variable, you can make a real array which you can use, get values, remove values, add values, and many useful other features. It can be useful in many ways. For example, imagine that you have some variable from server variables plugin and you want to save their players' nicknames and their, for example, level. So it will be like player dash level, then for example comma, player 2 dash level of this player, then again comma, then player 3 dash his level, and so on. And it will be default variable, and you can save these values pretty well without array placeholders. But what you will do next, no one don't know. Because without array placeholders you will need very difficult algorithms to obtain values, to remove values, to set values in any place of this array. Only which you will be able to do without array placeholders is adding values to the end of the array. So let's try some examples. You can find array placeholder information here in the wiki. See version 3.5 placeholders. Independent placeholders. Placeholder for processing arrays. A multifunctional placeholder that allows you to process arrays. That is, as I already told, strings separated by separators. Here is the meaning, you can read it. The format: first you need to start placeholder with sep array, then specify the separator, like comma or semicolon and so on. Then operations may be like this. Then the array itself, which we will process. Then different values depending on the operations. Start index, end index, value, new value. Here is the table when you need to use this or this or this. For example, with get operation, you do not need to use anything. With get part, you need to use start index and end index. That's logical in general, because you need to get the part of the array that is from some index to some index, then get by index for getting the value, then etc. etc. Note that the in value and new value you need to use this symbol instead of underscores, but the array itself, it supports underscores pretty well. Counting in the array starting from 0, and options, you need to skip start index, end index, value, new value, and etc. where you do not need to use them, like here. You need to skip them completely, not just specify empty values. Here are where it can be useful. Here are the examples of the using this placeholder. You can learn them. Pretty useful things that you can use conditions in this operation, like here starts with, contains, or and etc. That is everywhere where you need to specify the value. let's go to do something. Imagine that we have this event when we write start command to console. The event starts, and in it we are setting test variable from the server variables plugin to the value of an example about which I already told, and we are doing it silently. This is our variable, it's global, it's text type, and without initial value, so common global variable, basic variable. Let's see which value variable has null. It's empty. Yes. Let's write start. Now it's player 1 no 5. So it's like player 1 have 5 level. What we can do to add new values? We can write here several variables, placeholder, global value. Let's reload the plugin. Write start again. As you see, we added another value. Why? Because after first writing the command, the variable was player 1 equals 5 and comma. Then we added placeholder. This we added current value of the variable to our value which we are setting. So when command executes this console command, it sets first current value of the variable, then our new value. We can write there, for example, cfile equals one, then serialoid and start. It will be like that. What we need to do if we want, for example, somewhere we saving these values like players and their levels. Then somewhere we want to get, for example, a level of some player. Let's reset the variable and let's add some values. Reload and start, and let's get the variable. Okay, it's correct. How to get a level, for example, of the player. Let's change the event. For example, we will do console message and let's parse placeholder. It will be sep. Then we will need to write array. Then we will need to write separator. In our case, it is comma. Then we will need to write action, which we will do. We will use get indexes by value. That is, we will obtain all indexes in the array which are suitable for our conditions, which we will specify a bit later. Then we will need to specify the array itself. It will be server variables global value test. Test. Then we need to specify the value itself. It may contain many conditions, like contains or not equals. It can be with brackets, and it can be end equals and so on. But we will need only starts with player equals. If our variable contains only unique values, it will be on the server, because players with the same nicknames should not exist in. So let's see what it will be. At serialoid, then start, and it return to us one in the index of this value. It's correct because indexes are counting from the 0. So it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2, 3, and so on. Okay, what we need to do next to obtain the level? Let's do multi-placeholder. It will be again sep array, comma, and here we need to write by index. Then we will need to specify the array itself again, and then index it will be our internal placeholder. Do not forget to for these operations, that is placeholders inside placeholders and so on. Do not forget to enable variable replacement option in the conditional events configuration, that is config.yaml. So it will return to us a value by the specified index. Let's see. Yes, player equals 4. Next, let's split this value by equal signal and return second part. It will be index 1. Player will be index 0 and 4 index 1. Okay, again sep array. Now it will be separator as equal signal. It will be get my index again. Then we will need to use our previous placeholders as the array itself, and as index we will need to use 1. So let's check. Yes, we will obtain 4. We can specify many conditions here, but note that this placeholder should not return more than 1 index, because for example if we will write player equals 4 and for example player 1 equals 5, and then we will specify like this without equal signal, or like this, it will return to us 0, 1, 4, 1 and 4. But again, by index placeholder accepts only 1 index. Also, we can remove values like here. For example, we want to remove test equal to. Let's do it like this. That is sep array, comma, remove by value, then array itself, then the value itself that starts with test equal. We are specifying equal signal so that we will be sure that this is end of the nickname, because if we specify like that, that is this will be counted too. We do not want this. So we are specifying equal signal, and this we are erasing. Let's try. Start. Yes, as you see, we removed test from this array. In the same way, we can set this to some new value. Set by value, start with test and new value. For example, test 1 equal 9. Let's see. Let's try. Yes, test 1 equal 9. What we need to do to change only, for example, nickname or player's level. We can copy this placeholder, paste it here. Then let's change here, not player, but test. Here we specify set by index. Here the index itself, that is 0, it will be nickname, and 1 it will be level. Let's change the level. And then the value, new value, for example, test now equals 2. That's it will be 10. But that's not all, because now it will be like this. It will be like this. That's not correct. So let's fix it. It will be a bit large common than previous commands. We need to get part before this test and after test. Sep array, comma, get part in our test variable from 0 index to this index. Let's see what it will be now. Not correct a bit, because we duplicated the values and forgot comma. Okay, let's pass the comma, and by using mass placeholder we will decrease this value by 1. Let's check. Yes, now it's correct. Then let's do it on the last part. Again, put here comma, then it will be vice versa from this, but plus 1, and to set array, comma, get length test. That is to index which will equal to the length of the array. Let's check. Not correct a bit, because this comma is extra. Why the comma appears here? Because we specified comma here. Remove it and leave comma here. All will be correct. Or we can do like this. All will be correct too. Why the comma here is necessary? Because it makes adding values to this array easier. If we are not using this comma, we need to specify like this change output placeholder. Like if this variable is empty, add here just this value. If it's not empty, add here values with comma before. This change output placeholder makes our command bigger and more complex. These separators, values and so on may vary in many ways, in different cases. From case to case, some will be more convenient and some will be less convenient. So it was array placeholder. Thanks all for watching. See you next time.